2.0 family, what's up? It's been a minute. I haven't made a video in a while. I've been doing the shorts and the calisthenic stuff, and I know you guys have been liking that. But let's talk about some adjustments that I've made to my diet, okay? So if you didn't know, just to give you a quick recap, I went carnivore probably, or a style of carnivore, even though I don't know that much about it, primarily meat, earlier in 2024, right? I moved into this home about a year ago now, and I was having some skin issues. Previously, I was 10 years plant-based. I thrived for many years, and I started having problems, probably the middle or end of 2023 that were really minor. And I started having some serious like skin issues and outbreaks, and I lost like a lot of the color in my skin. So I ended up making a radical change. I shifted everything else, came to the conclusion that it has to be my diet. So dropped everything, went extreme, ate like nothing but meat. Took me about a month or two, finally started clearing up a lot of the stuff in my skin. My bowel movements became regular, which now they're finally good. But after a while, I started getting really vicious cramping, and I knew, okay, long term, I can't do this diet forever, right? There's something missing, at least for me, okay? So I started making some adjustments. I knew that I had done blood work before, and I had developed allergic reactions to certain things like sweet potatoes, blueberries, right, and stuff like that. So what I started doing was I would slowly reintroduce things. And in the beginning, if I reintroduced stuff that I would eat before, I would get a mild breakout, or I would feel uncomfortable. Like even now, I still have a little bit of dryness like here on the inside of my elbow, right? You probably can't even really see anything, but it's like a little lighter. I'm sure maybe you can see it on the camera, right? So nothing major. Nobody can look at me and see anything. But before, I'd have breakouts on my neck. Like this would all get like, it was crazy, right? I had breakouts here. Like it was disgusting. So I started experimenting a little bit, okay? Now, present day, I've added some carbs and a few other things. I'm still primarily eating, a lot of fat and meat and organs and that kind of stuff, right? Initially, I started having like liver, cod liver and stuff like that, because I know it's rich in vitamin A and a lot of things that I was probably missing when I was more plant-based. So some of the adjustments that I started making initially, I wanted to say, okay, my digestion has gotten better, but my skin issues were still kind of lingering and not fully healing. It was like 80-85% healing. So I started introducing some vegetables, but only a little bit, right? Like I would buy 1 or 2 little heads of like broccoli and cauliflower, steam it and eat it, right? Asparagus, I would boil it. Everything was boiled, steamed or something like that pretty well. So I cooked it, pretty thoroughly. And I was just adding a little bit, right? And I noticed, I was like, okay, my digestion is still good, but my skin seems to be getting better now. Like the stuff on my neck, all those little white patches I had and issues have pretty much cleared up, right? They're like 99% gone. The only thing left is my arms, a little bit. So I'm adding this, right? And I also noticed as I started adding a little bit of carbs back in, just a little bit, I stopped with the cramping, because I know when you go ketogenic, and you don't have any carbs at all, your body starts eliminating a lot of water, and with it goes a lot of minerals. So as soon as I started eating a little bit of carbs, it helped balance that for me. So I wasn't waking up super thirsty. I wasn't waking up with tremendous cramps like in my calves. I would wake up and like my calves would like lock up. It was crazy. I started supplementing magnesium as well. But even when I was strictly eating meat and fat and a lot of that stuff, it was still cramping even with the magnesium supplements. As soon as I started adding a little bit of carbs, that went away. After that, I added some other things. So one thing that I added was honey, right? I can get some raw honey here in Florida, and the honey for me was awesome. Like as soon as because this is the key, guys. I started recovering, right? But I was like, man, I feel like I'm not as vibrant, when I was doing the carnivore kind of flush or rejuvenation. I didn't feel as vibrant. I didn't feel as, normally, especially when I compare it to when I was thriving on plant-based, right? Testosterone was raging, always felt energetic, always felt good, right? Never felt like overly thirsty. Digestion was great. I wasn't feeling like that. I was like, man, I'm getting better. My skin is healing, but I don't feel that good. I don't feel like my libido's that high. I feel like something's off. So I started adding the vegetables and stuff, and that didn't really change. But as soon as I added honey, and not a lot, like I'm talking like, I would, in the morning, I would still have my regular, meat, fat, maybe eggs. I'd work out, I would do my thing. Then in the afternoon, I would have maybe a little bit of kefir, a couple sips, and then maybe like a tablespoon of raw honey, Once I added that after a couple days, oh my God, I felt like I was getting more ripped, felt like I had more energy, and I felt like my libido went up, right? And I'm still kind of feeling that now because I added that a while back. And since then, every once in a while, I'll have like kimchi, you know, like the fermented kind of stuff. It's like sea vegetables and cabbage and that kind of stuff. So I would say I'm probably 70–80% still having fish. You know, the other day I had some clams, you know, fat. I eat a lot of ghee, tallow, you know, so I am primarily fat based and eating a lot more meat. But 20% is that like, I'll have eggs as well, right? But that other 20% is, you know, kefir, maybe like a Bulgarian yogurt that's like A2, like, you know, pretty raw. There's a Southwest farmers market here as well that I'm starting to go to. So I don't like drink milk and all that, but I'll have like some yogurt, some really clean like raw yogurt. Every once in a while I'll have some cheese, some raw cheese like Parmigiano Reggiano and some of the other stuff that's like raw. I'll have some honey. And yeah, like I would say the carbs is not that high. Like I'm not having hundreds of grams of carbs. I would say probably like 50 grams or something like that. And even that, I won't have it every day. But when I initially added it, I started adding it every day. And it felt good, right? I felt like my skin was finally healing up too. Like the stuff on my neck is, like I said, virtually gone. If I do have any kind of flare up, it's because I add something that maybe before I was allergic to, but I'm just testing to see where it's at, right? So right now, really the only place that I still have a little bit of dryness is here on the inside of the elbow and a little bit on the outside of the elbow right here. You can probably see a little bit of discoloration there, right? But overall, feel good. Got my color back. You know, I'm usually always a pretty medium color, kind of like really, really light brown. But in the peak of this, I was looking almost red because I think my body was just revolting to like everything that I was eating. But I feel good. You know, I feel a lot better. I do feel a lot better. The only thing that I still had was, my family's from South America, right? And yerba mate is a tea that we drink. And I still like drinking it. Supposedly it has something in it that's similar to caffeine, but not the same. You know, if I ever once in a while just to taste it, I'll have like a coffee. Coffee just destroys me. I don't like it. And I feel like the effects of the caffeine, I don't feel that when I drink the tea, yerba mate. But that, I don't know if that was causing me problems either. So I still have that, but you know, I cut it off. Like I stopped drinking it again, you know, 3 or 4 days ago, and I'll have it, you know, regularly every day, and then I'll stop drinking it for like a week or two, just so my body's not seeing the same thing every day. But I don't know if that also added to it because that is a plant. I have no idea if that added to my aggravations, but I seem to have been healing while I was also drinking that. So I don't know. We'll see. Just wanted to give you guys an update on kind of where I'm at and where I'm at with this thing. So a little bit of carbs, like, you know, raw honey, like raw milk, you know, like kefir, you know, that yogurt, that type of stuff. Every once in a while I have some cheese. And then primarily I'm eating like, you know, eggs, meat, fat, and that kind of stuff. The only other thing I think I've had is like some seaweed just to get the iodine. Maybe every once in a while I might sprinkle some herbs on my stuff just to experiment, you know, but I'm really looking at it from the perspective of feeling the best, which I feel better and better. But number 2, fully healing my skin, which is probably like at a 95%. And again, I don't know if that has something to do with a sensitivity to something or maybe it's something else, but we'll see. We'll keep figuring this thing out because I talked to a ton of people, and when I was having those issues with my skin, and everybody gave me a question mark and said they had no idea, right? But that's an update, guys. Overall, I feel good. I know I'm looking good. I think I'm getting back to where I was before, where I'm just like stupid ripped. So I think my body's finally getting back to what it was. So I'm super excited. The energy levels are through the roof, sleeping really, really well. You know, at the peak of me feeling bad, I would wake up in the middle of the night and like my shoulder would be burning and itching. Like it was horrible. You know, I really hope that nobody has to go through what I went through in regards to that. But who knows what the issue was. It was probably me being too extreme with my diet, but you live and you learn. All right, that's it for this one, y'all. I will start doing more regular videos like this. You know, my videographer doesn't help me with this channel. That's why I'm kind of inconsistent, because I'm so focused on my main one and trying to recover it after all the censorship and stuff. But we'll be at it here. Maybe I'll post at least a video a week or 2 a week just to keep you guys in the loop and keep sharing with you the fitness stuff. But recently got back into boxing. That's been helping a lot. I'm still running my sprints and doing my calisthenics. So overall, we're doing good. All right, see you guys in the next video. Peace.